Act as if you are already who you want to be. Now, this isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a fundamental shift in how you approach your life, your goals, and your future. But what does it really mean to act as if? And how can this principle transform the way you live, work, and interact with the world? Let's start with a simple truth. Who you are today is a result of the thoughts, actions, and habits you've cultivated up until now. If you're happy with where you are, that's wonderful. But if you're striving for something more, something greater, then it's time to start thinking and acting like the person you want to become. Because here's the secret. Your future self is created by what you do in the present. Think about it for a moment. Imagine the person you want to be 5, 10, or even 20 years from now. What kind of life do they lead? What successes have they achieved? How do they handle challenges, and what kind of relationships do they have? The more vividly you can picture this future version of yourself, the more clearly you can see the path to getting there. Now, let's make it even more practical. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, for instance, how does that person spend their day? Do they wake up early, read voraciously, and take calculated risks? Or do they procrastinate, doubt themselves, and wait for opportunities to come to them? You see, the difference between who you are and who you want to be isn't just a matter of time. It's a matter of behavior. Here's an example from my own life. When I was just starting out, I had a mentor named Earl Schoaf. Earl was a successful businessman, and I admired the way he carried himself. He was confident, disciplined, and always seemed to have a clear vision of where he was going. I wanted to be like him, but at the time, I was far from it. I didn't have his experience, his wealth, or his network, but I did have one thing, his example. So I began to study Earl, not just what he did, but how he did it. I noticed the way he made decisions, the way he communicated with others, and the way he managed his time. I started to incorporate those same habits into my life, even though I didn't yet have his level of success. I began to act as if I were already a successful businessman. And slowly but surely, my actions started to align with my ambitions. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach began to present themselves, and I found myself growing into the person I had envisioned. But let me be clear, this isn't about imitation. It's not about copying someone else's life. It's about identifying the qualities and behaviors that define the person you want to become, and making those a part of your daily life. It's about internalizing those characteristics so deeply that they become second nature to you. Now let's talk about something that often holds people back: the fear of being inauthentic. Many people hesitate to act as if because they're afraid of coming across as fake or insincere. But let me ask you this. When you first started learning to walk, did you feel like a walker? Probably not. You were stumbling, falling, and getting back up again. But did that mean you were being fake? Of course not. You were practicing. You were learning. And eventually, walking became a natural part of who you are. The same is true for any new behavior, any new mindset. At first, it might feel uncomfortable, even awkward. You might stumble, fall, and have to get back up again. But that's part of the process. It's how you grow. Over time, what once felt foreign becomes familiar. What once seemed out of reach becomes part of your reality. And here's another point to consider. When you start acting as if, you're not just changing yourself. You're changing the way the world sees you. People respond to confidence, to vision, to purpose. When you carry yourself like someone who knows where they're going, others will start to believe it too. They'll begin to see you in a new light, offering opportunities, respect, and trust that might not have been available to you before. I remember a young man I once mentored. He wanted to become a leader in his company, but he was stuck in a mid-level position with little authority. He felt frustrated, believing that he needed to be promoted before he could start acting like a leader. But I told him, don't wait for the title. Start leading now from wherever you are. So he began to take initiative, offering solutions instead of just pointing out problems. He started to mentor others even though he wasn't officially in a leadership role. He dressed a bit sharper, spoke with more confidence, and made decisions as if he were already in the role he wanted. And you know what happened? People noticed. His colleagues began to see him as a leader, and before long, his superiors did too. It wasn't long before he got that promotion he'd been hoping for. But the key is, he didn't wait for the promotion to start acting like the person he wanted to be. He became the person first, and the promotion followed. This brings us to an essential point. When you act as if, you're not just hoping for a change, you're creating it. You're taking control of your life and your future. You're no longer waiting for circumstances to change, for opportunities to come knocking, or for someone else to give you permission to succeed. You're stepping into your future, bringing it into the present, and making it a reality. Now, I want to talk about the importance of consistency. Acting as if isn't something you do once and forget about. It's a daily practice, a commitment to living in alignment with your highest aspirations. It's easy to fall back into old habits, especially when you don't see immediate results. But remember, change takes time. Growth takes time. The seeds you plant today won't bear fruit tomorrow, but they will bear fruit. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. If you want to become a person of discipline, you must practice discipline every day, even in the small things. If you want to be confident, you must practice confidence daily, even in situations that make you uncomfortable. If you want to be successful, you must make decisions each day that align with your vision of success, even when it's difficult. And here's something else to consider. Acting as if isn't just about reaching goals, it's about living with purpose. It's about creating a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. When you act as if you're already the person you want to be, you're not just moving toward a destination. You're living a life that's rich with meaning, passion, and fulfillment. Now let's talk about how this principle applies in different areas of life. Think about your relationships. If you want to have strong, healthy relationships, how does the person you want to become interact with others? Do they listen with empathy? Do they communicate openly and honestly? Do they invest time and energy into nurturing their connections with others? Start doing those things now, even if your relationships aren't where you want them to be yet. When you act as if you already have the kind of relationships you desire, you begin to attract those kinds of relationships into your life. Or consider your health. If you envision yourself as a person who is fit, energetic, and full of vitality, what habits would that person have? Do they exercise regularly, eat a balanced diet, and take care of their mental well-being? Start adopting those habits today, even if you're not yet at your ideal level of fitness. When you act as if you're already the healthy, vibrant person you want to be, you'll find that your body and mind begin to follow suit. This principle can also transform your finances. If you want to be financially independent, how does that person manage their money? Do they save and invest wisely? Do they avoid unnecessary debt and make thoughtful financial decisions? Start acting as if you're already financially independent by adopting those behaviors now. Over time, you'll find that your financial situation begins to improve, not by chance, but by design. And let's not forget about your personal growth. If you want to become a person of wisdom, knowledge, and insight, what does that person do each day? Do they read, study, and seek out new experiences? Do they surround themselves with people who challenge and inspire them? Start engaging in those activities now, even if you feel like you're just beginning your journey of personal development. When you act as if you're already a person of wisdom, you'll find that your mind and spirit begin to expand in ways you never thought possible. So where does this leave us? It leaves us with a choice. You can choose to wait, to hope, and to dream about becoming the person you want to be someday. Or you can choose to start living as that person today. You can choose to take control of your actions, your thoughts, and your behaviors, and align them with the vision you have for your future. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you do have to start. Each day, each moment, is an opportunity to step into your future, to act as if you're already the person you want to be. And as you do, you'll find that you're not just acting anymore, you're becoming. So, I encourage you to take this principle to heart. Start today. Start now. Act as if you're already who you want to be, and watch as your life begins to transform in ways you never imagined possible. The future is yours to create. Don't wait for it to happen. Make it happen. One thought, one action, one day at a time.